And when I was with my late husband and something terrible happened to him, he was a very successful attorney in Los Angeles, and there was a hit put on his life, and some people cut his neck from ear to ear, stabbed him in the chest, and left him to die. And he didn't die. I actually saved his life, but I was the number one suspect. The wife is always the number one suspect. And I just published his book posthumously because it's a very exciting, crazy life that he led. And I was his partner, and I chose him. But he was the opposite to me. So he was like an aggressive, dynamic, powerful pit bull in the courtroom, whereas I'm a spiritual healer, love doctor.
I am mentally strong, learn it, live it, level up, regardless what life brings. I will live mentally strong.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ava Cadell, and I'm the founder of Loveology University and Loveology Retreat. I've also written 12 books. I've lectured all over the world about love and intimacy, and I love my job.
Yes. That's amazing. And I teach about mental strength. And we were just talking about how the capacity for love, and people are not taught how to be mentally strong. They're not taught how to love. So really what we're doing is very much aligned. Tell us a little bit, a sneak peek of like, how do you teach people to love?
Well, I teach people to love beginning with self-love.
Ooh.
And especially women.
Yeah.
I teach women their power, their inner strength, how to share what makes them unique and lovable. So, for example, most women have a problem answering what makes you lovable. But I have a feeling you know what makes you lovable. Am I right?
I do, but what I teach is that we talk about self-love, but many women don't even know themselves.
Right.
And so I talk about like, you need to know yourself, like yourself, so that you can love yourself. Like, it's not a jump straight to love. We often don't even know ourselves, especially if we got married young, started having kids young, like we became these roles, and oftentimes what society said those roles should be, and we lost ourselves in it.
It's true. And the truth is we do grow mentally, spiritually, emotionally, sexually, all that. And so I think we lose track of who we become.
Yeah.
And we both teach very similar empowering lessons. So I love the synergy between us.
Yeah.
But I think mine maybe goes a little deeper into sexuality.
Yes.
Which
is actually one of my places that I hold very not public.
That's funny.
And it might be my astrology sign or something, but it's funny.
But we talk about what kind of food we like. If we go to a restaurant, we're not shy about asking for our steak to be cooked exactly how we want it, or if you're a vegetarian, your tofu. But when it comes to sex, nobody teaches women how to ask for what they want in bed.
Ooh.
And I think it's really important, especially for these powerful women who make deals all the time and negotiate in the boardroom. But hey, I can teach you how to negotiate in the bedroom. So
I love that.
It's important.
I love that. And when it comes to women and their mental health, and when they're feeling overwhelmed, how does that impact them sexually?
Oh, well, when they become overwhelmed, they neglect their body, they neglect their mind, and there is just total chaos in their lives. And so, whatever you think and feel is basically what expands in your life. The energy follows you.
Right.
So we have to help women to heal.
Yeah.
And healing really starts with just closing your eyes and saying, I love you, followed by your name.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and let's take a moment and let people do that are listening, because we don't take the time. Many of us are just listening to the next podcast and doing the next thing and trying to learn more, do more, but just stopping and learning to love yourself.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the word healing, and I know that was kind of brought into your practice a little later.
Yes.
Tell us about the hardship that brought you there.
Well, I actually started healing when I was very young, and because of adversity, I became a love doctor because I wanted to find out as much as I could about love so I could find my own healthy relationship. And then I met the love of my life and shared my journey with others, but I lost the love of my life 10 years ago, and it was very painful. So I really worked on healing myself, and then I turned it into a massive healing program for coaches. And it's about healing from everything you can think of. Not only loss of a person, loss of a pet, loss of finances, loss of your job, loss of limbs.
Of your identity.
Of your identity. I mean, we are all going to experience disabilities in our lives, whether they're internal or external, and no one teaches us how to heal them.
Yeah. And I teach this flywheel of being able to think, organize, and choose. And people are always like, oh, you're a grief expert. And I'm like, no, I'm a mental strength expert because, yes, my story is pretty profound grief, but everybody is going through something, and it's impacting how they're showing up for themselves, for other people. And I really think that sexually ends up being last. Would you agree?
Last or first. Some people use sex as an outlet, a cry for connection, but they don't connect intimately.
Yeah.
Just physically.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you said that. Yeah. It's either first or last. Yeah. Yeah. So tell us about a time in your life where you wish you had more mental strength.
Well, certainly when I was a child, when I was a teenager, and when I was with my late husband and something terrible happened to him. He was a very successful attorney in Los Angeles, and there was a hit put on his life, and some people cut his neck from ear to ear, stabbed him in the chest, and left him to die. And he didn't die. I actually saved his life, but I was the number one suspect. The wife is always the number one suspect. And I just published his book posthumously because it's a very exciting, crazy life that he led. And I was his partner, and I chose him. But he was the opposite to me. So he was like an aggressive, dynamic, powerful pit bull in the courtroom, whereas I'm a spiritual healer, love doctor. So,
opposites attract.
I could have used some mental strength going through this terrible trauma.
Yeah. And what did you learn from that? How did you, we always say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but oftentimes people don't come out stronger. They're not doing the healing. They don't know how to work through and process and organize. So I teach a lot about organization. There's grief in your story, there's trauma in your story, there's choices in your story, there's anxiety in your story, and injustice, right? We should be dealing with all those things a little differently.
Right.
But tell me, obviously you didn't know the Mentally Strong method, but how did you organize all of those pieces going on in your life and make choices?
So I love the word organized. I pride myself on being organized in everything I do because it gives me peace of mind. But when this terrible thing happened, I learned that no matter what the universe throws at me, I can handle it, even if it leaves scars, and I have scars. I have mental scars and emotional scars, but they make me stronger, and I love helping others with their suffering. So every terrible thing that's ever happened to me, I've turned into a gift. And I've had a few, health-wise and relationship-wise, but I use it as a gift to help others.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest
So reframing the story of
Yeah.
taking this hardship and how do I make it not about the pain necessarily, but also suppressing the pain is not a good idea either.
No.
How did you like release some of that?
Actually, one day I just woke up and I said, no matter what the universe throws at me, I choose to be happy. It's my life changed from that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Yeah.
Happiness is like choosing chicken or fish. It's a choice. And when you make it, it makes you 10 times bolder than you were,
Yeah.
and more powerful and more successful. And just it makes you whole.
Yeah. And what I would add to that is, yes, absolutely, it's a choice, but sometimes the pain is so big, you don't feel like you have the power over that choice. So finding a little choice that you can do, a little choice,
Right.
a little choice, because you were in it. I mean, the fact that you were accused of being his attempted murderer did not go away overnight, right? You had to
3
go
months,
through
yeah.
and do those things and
Yeah.
respond to the police and be under this stress and then be worried about losing him and being at the hospital. Like there was so much going on. And I can envision the whole story. Tell us how you were organizing that at the time and how you were making those little choices.
Well, there were many little choices. For example, I was very angry with my husband because he didn't tell me that his life was threatened. And he was very bold and fearless. But had he died, I would probably be in jail because the jury doesn't always have any sympathy for a widow, especially if she's much younger than her husband. So I wrote a letter to him. And I told him how upset I was with what he did. And then in the letter, I forgave him. And then in the letter, I asked him to help me to be more safe by adding more security around our home, and so forth, and telling me if anybody ever, threatened to hurt him in any way, I wanted to know about it. So that was one of the steps that I took that I feel was extremely valuable.
Right. Yeah. I love that. Tell us about the time he read the letter. I mean, did he get a chance to read the letter?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So tell us about. I want to know.
Well, he started crying, which my husband never did. Can you imagine a powerful attorney crying, an alpha male crying? So he understood, and he said, I didn't know you felt that way.
Yeah.
We can't read each other's minds, so we have to be frank. We have to share our fears and our wants and our needs with the people we love.
Yeah. I love, that was a beautiful therapeutic choice in the moment. Like, I'm going to write this letter. And, I'm assuming it was months later before he could read it. But it helped even in the moment.
Yeah.
So, I always tell people, like, find something you can choose right there. We know that whatever you're going through could last months, maybe
Yes,
even years. I mean, for me, it was, my son was diagnosed with this rare neurodegenerative condition, and it was 10 years before he passed away, but 10 years of medical trauma and 10 years of not being able to just choose to be happy every moment, right? Like things just kept coming and kept coming. And so knowing what that means in a day-to-day, and I love that you practiced that, you did that. and you've been practicing in this therapeutic space, your entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about what brought you into this space, some trauma in childhood, if you're willing to share, of like what made you, and I told you my daughter's word is also love. Like she would just, if she was sitting here right now, she would say, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." She would, she wanted everyone to know that they were loved, that they were beautiful. And so tell me what was going on in your life that pushed you in that direction.
So I was raised by strict nuns who told me that if I ever kissed a boy, a baby would pop out of my mouth. So you can only imagine I grew up extremely curious and confused, and had incredibly abusive relationships because I didn't understand anything about love. And so I made it my mission to find out everything I could. But it was that adversity and the lies, and they said, if you ever touch your body, it's a mortal sin. And I was raised with a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. And so I started healing way back. And, today I'm 70, and
oh my God, you look amazing.
So do you. You're probably half my age. But I believe the best is still yet to come. I truly believe that, especially for women, because as we grow older, we become more confident in many ways, and we have a lot more wisdom. And we know what we want. We know what we don't want. And we're not going to settle like we did when we were younger.
I sometimes call it church trauma. I think that, and we are afraid to identify it as trauma because, maybe it wasn't some big sexual abuse or, and we think of the intention, they were just trying to protect us, right? But it's trauma. It's trauma, the way girls are taught to fear their body, to fear orgasm, to fear, pleasure in this area. And I've noticed, we talked about either, someone's puts it last or puts it first. Sometimes with the sexual trauma, they're putting it first, and that's the only way they know how to, express themselves and stuff. So talk about how trauma, both little trauma, like church trauma, or big trauma, impacts us sexually.
So I've had a lot of clients. I have a private practice, and I've helped a lot of people overcome trauma, such as rape. I had one woman who could never open up her legs after that when she was making love. She just kept them closed. And one of the things I tell people to do is to have a conversation with their body, especially their body parts, different parts, for different reasons. But a lot of women, especially who've been raped, when they have a conversation with their sexual organs, they really learn, they listen, and they understand that what your body needs from you is unconditional love, basically. And a lot of women hate certain parts of their body. And I travel around the world, and it happens in every single culture. And so when they do that, for example, a lot of women say they don't like what their stomach looks like. So I say, well, okay, how about if you thank your stomach for what it does for you instead? Thank your stomach for the nourishment and for the strength and for creating life and all the other things that your stomach does instead of focusing just on how it looks. And that's been very empowering for a lot of my clients.
I love that. That is beautiful. I hope that we can continue this relationship and collaborate together.
I'm so excited to meet you. I was drawn to your table and then your energy when you came up behind me. And I think we have an incredible amount of synergy. And
absolutely.
Thank you for my interview.
Thank you. I am so excited that I got to interview a doctor around love, mental health, and sex. So listen to the whole thing. Let's learn and grow together.